Hey guys, Happy New Year, even though it's January 6th. I'm gonna try and be quick, but I did want to film a vlog, and I have tried to for a while, and it's funny because I'll sit down and I'll make them, and sorry, giving my guy friend girl advice, and he's probably watching this, but it's fine because I'm not gonna say his name. Yeah, anyways though, what was I saying? Damn. Oh, but I wanted to film a vlog because there are some updates, and I may talk about like personal stuff like that's related to the documentary. We'll see. But yeah, the biggest thing is, so I think where I left off, and again I might overlap here or on the flip side kind of jump ahead and leave some gaps just because I can't remember really where I left off. Because it's been a while. Oh, and by the way, I did post, okay, so I did film a fourth vlog, which I posted an excerpt from, which was me talking about dysthymia and suicidal ideation. And then after like looking back at that vlog, I realized that was like the most important part. So I figured I'd just sit down and make a more distilled one. And if I have anything new to bring up, then great. So yeah, but what was I saying? So the biggest thing is my hard drive failed, which was so fun. And sorry, I keep getting text. Okay, weird development. Anyways, I'm gonna try and stay on track here. But yeah, so my hard drive failed, and that really sucked because it had not just all of the Paperbirds files on there, but also, hello Coop, all of my personal stuff too. I mean, not like all of it, but had like writing samples and like my original works from high school. So that was definitely a bummer, which word to the wise, back your stuff up in the cloud. I use Dropbox because I'm a portrait photographer, and so that's how I deliver my galleries. But I have a subscription, and it's not that expensive, and it gives you a lot of space, and it's easy to share and store a lot of files with a lot of different people, so I definitely recommend it. But yeah, so that sucked. But luckily my friend Jalen, he had almost all the files, definitely all the interviews, and then a lot of the B-roll, at least the B-roll that we filmed last year, on his drive, because he was in my doc group and we were really good at like copying stuff over. So he single-handedly saved the production. So thank you, Jalen. But yeah, so I was able to get that back, and I think I did that in like November. And then, so I got a new laptop at the end of October, and I had been like debating it for a year because I feel like Apple has a monopoly on things. I gotta say it. But yeah, but that's what they use like in the industry. But like for photography, graphic design, video production, all that stuff, because I think it runs, no, don't eat that, stop, the software the best. So I just got it, and I do like my computer, I will say that. But literally after 3 weeks of having it, the LCD screen broke. Which, sorry, that's my cat. Yeah, I know. I just got home from work, from my other job. I have like 3 or 4 jobs. Well, it's like part-time stuff, so, and like freelance work, so I'm not like constantly running between places. All my other stuff is basically remote. But I do have a job where I like serve food to people for like extra cash, and I like it. But again, that's not related. I was talking about my computer. Yes, I know. So my LCD screen broke. I don't really remember what happened, but basically I had to send it in to get it fixed. And at first they're like, yeah, this is like covered by the warranty, like you just got your laptop. But then a few days later they sent me another email and they're like, actually, that's gonna be $900. So I had to pay that, and that sucked, and that's another reason why I'm not gonna get my drive fixed, which I can't remember if I addressed this in this video. Sorry, this is very chaotic. I'm tired and I want to go to bed, so I'm like firing off rounds here. But I did want to film this tonight, so that's why I sat down to film it. But I'd given it to my professor to give it to his wife, who is a professor of computer science, who gave it to her coworker, who is also in that field. And then he gave it back to my professor and was like, we can't fix this. So if I want to get my stuff back, I'm gonna have to do it professionally. And I think I will eventually, but I just don't know when, just because, again, it's a lot of money. And if I don't need to do it that right now, I'm not going to. So yeah, I'm just gonna hold off. But I have started putting together the rough cut. And I did post like the first 15 seconds the other day, which I hope you guys like that, because I'd waited for a foggy day to film, and I think it turned out really cool. And I wish I was able to share like the whole prologue, which essentially, that's probably not what they even call it in film, that's just what I've been calling it, leading up to like the title page. So it's about 1:30 seconds, and it's just a bunch of different shots. A lot of outdoor, like wood shots, like I shared the other day, and then I have some of stuff in my room. Like, there's a drawing on my wall that's in the... This is my cat. Yeah, she won't shut the hell up. Just kidding. Yeah, I do spend a lot of time alone, if that wasn't obvious, which is why I'm comfortable talking to a camera, because I talk to myself a lot. But yeah, so that, and then I also had shots of like my drawings that I did when I was in therapy, because they're a big part of the film. And in addition to that, and so I have more than that done. I have more than the prologue done. I've kind of broken it up into, so typically with films you do like act 1, act 2, act 3, which is introduction, middle, there's probably a different word for that, and then there's a resolution. And so I've just been kind of working off that structure, and then going in within those 3 parts and breaking it down further, and introducing like different themes and issues, I don't know. So yeah, I have been doing that, and I've kind of been writing the script as I've been putting the film together, just because it doesn't directly translate all the time. So like let me see if I can, this would be cool if I could show you guys, because I think it's neat. I have my bed's a mess because I just have a bunch of stuff on it. I have about 6 of these folders for this film, and this one is the Paperbirds interview and transcript folders with release forms, which I love all this like stupid, not analytical, but like paperwork stuff, because it just, I don't know, I think it makes me feel cooler than I actually am. But yeah, so I have like all these transcripts, which I transcribed myself because I don't really go out that often. So basically what you do, well, you transcribe an interview, and then a lot of times you'll read through it and you'll like highlight like some quotes where you're like, okay, this feels like it's really important. And sometimes I'll make notes. I'm trying to see if there's an example. Not that it really matters, but again, I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. And it's cool that I get to do this stuff. It's really, I feel really lucky that like, so I did like, when I was a senior in high school, I used to like, that's when I first started getting into documentary stuff. Sorry, I got another text, but I can't check it right now or the video will stop. But yeah, I did, like, I would like I interviewed my sister about motherhood. I interviewed my grandma about, I think, being the 8th child in her family. I know I interviewed someone else, but I can't really remember who it was. I used to like not interview, but I do like surveys on my Instagram, which if we went to high school together and that's how you like are following me, you may remember that stuff. And I still do it from time to time. I just, unfortunately, I don't have as much time to do it anymore, but I really like doing that stuff because I just like, it's allowed me to get to know people better, even if it's online. And also people are always really candid and raw with those kind of things, because I think people want to open up, people want to tell their stories, they want to be honest. They just don't often have a place to do that, and so that's what I like about documentary work, is you are able to help create that space for someone else. And for me, I like learning about other people. I think it's cool. I think everyone is unique and they have their own story, and that's really beautiful. And that's one of the things that I like about being alive. I think human beings are beautiful. That's not to say some people don't really piss me off, because that's true, but I think most people I've met, I've been lucky, are honestly really great. But yeah, I got a little sidetracked there. But yeah, so I've been basically combing through these transcripts, which I'm just doing like the main four right now. My interview, my mom's interview, my sister, and Dr. Sizer's. And I would love to get an additional scholar because Dr. Sizer is more of like what we'd call like a character interview because he's a part of my story rather than like an objective psychologist who's giving their perspective on the situation from a completely, I know I've used this word a lot in this one sentence, but objective place. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, and because time, and it can be hard to find someone, and also because I think I mentioned this before, my whole crew graduated, except for like one person, so I've kind of had to like, when I'm doing stuff, I'll have to kind of like almost crowdsource. I don't know if that's the right word, but it can be hard getting, even though everyone's like really great and they want to participate, it's just people have lives and it's hard. So yeah, but what I was saying was I've been putting together the script with the film at the same time because sometimes like it doesn't translate the way that you think it should. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to explain this in a way that makes any sense, but like even the way that someone will like enunciate a word, or maybe you could use a sentence and like want to end in the middle of the sentence, but it sounds awkward, and you don't want to keep the whole thing in. So again, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's why it can be a little bit difficult, and that's why it helps to sometimes, I think, kind of simultaneously go through the script and the rough cut at the same time, because again, even if a quote looks good on paper, it doesn't necessarily always sound good. So yeah, and what else was I saying? I did apply to present my work in Wisconsin for like a student showcase that I don't know if it's the University of Wisconsin. It's a school in Wisconsin does. So I kind of did that. I was like whatever. I just applied because it was like, I forget. I just got like an email about it from like you can't eat all of them. That's bad. From like I don't know, someone from my department. And so I applied for that. And it wasn't like, I wasn't like banking on getting in. And I kind of feel like my perspective on it is like, okay, if I get in, great. This is like another opportunity to share this story and this initiative and bring more awareness to the topic of recovered memories. And then if I don't, I'm like, well, I have more time to work on it. So, but it is kind of nice having that like hypothetical deadline, like, because it puts a fire under my ass to get something done. And I have been working on it every day, and that has made it easier because sometimes this project can be really overwhelming. And again, I did it to myself, so don't feel bad for me. But it's hard, just like, I've never dabbled really in video production. I mean, when I was like 7, I know my brother and I would like make videos together, but they were like stop motion Lego videos, so I don't even know if there's a correlation there. Probably not. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say is I don't have any experience in what I'm doing, because video is definitely a whole different ballgame. With documentary photography work, it's, I don't know, you take a picture and you edit it, and like, of course there's like an intent for a story there. So there's obviously like a thought process and like technical skills that go into creating something of that medium. But with video production, specifically like documentary stuff, there's just so many more things you have to consider. Like, you have to be good at putting a story together, and you have to interview people, which is a lot of work. It's because there's so many things that people don't see. Like, you have to reach out, make these connections, start building trust between the person you're going to be interviewing. Then you have to come up with questions to ask them, and even in your questions, you have to kind of create a story. Like, you have to kind of almost predict what their response is going to be. I don't know if that made sense. And that's just like pre-production stuff. And then there's production, which is you're actually filming and you're using equipment, and you have to know how to do that stuff. And a lot of the stuff, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how to do. And then with post-production, like, editing is this whole different ballgame, because editing it's fun. I actually enjoy editing, but it can be hard. And you have to like learn new software, and new tools on that software, and then also like things like music, like you have to look into copyrights and things like that. So yeah, it's just it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot more than I thought getting into it. So it's been a pretty big undertaking, but it's been worth it, and it's something that I like. I feel like I could lose I was telling my mom this the other day. I could probably lose like everything that I have for this project, and I would still be like, I'm gonna still do it. And I don't know why that is. Like, this is the hill I will die on, I guess, which is cool. It's nice to have a hill you'll die on, because it, I don't know, it gives you something to do, I guess. But, I don't know, where was I going with that? I don't even know, guys. But that being said, I haven't been doing it alone. Everyone who I've ever, like, reached out to for help for this project has been just, like, completely on board. And it's weird how many, not weird in a bad way, weird in, like, a really inspiring way, how many people have just been, like, completely supportive of this thing that they've never even lived through. Like, I wasn't expecting that level of compassion. So that was just really inspiring. So yeah, I actually forget what I was saying. And I'm really sorry because I feel like I started out really strong. I know I was talking fast because I was trying to get it all down. But I think this is going to be the one that I post because I'm done filming vlogs that I delete. Yeah, because even when I delete them, I still feel like they take up space on my phone. Again, Apple, we need to talk. But yeah, sorry. I feel like I just get on here and embarrass myself. But yeah, that's it for tonight, guys. I want to say thank you for everyone who has been, like, keeping up with this project and who has been supporting it, because that means a lot to me. And not just me, but it means a lot to everyone who's experienced this. I know that it does, because there's a lot of people out there, and I'm hoping that this can be a project that helps those people, and hopefully beyond that demographic, because I think, you know, everything has a little bit of that. Even if something is, like, intended for a certain group of people, or just, like, a certain issue, I think there's still, like, lessons and stuff we can get out of it. Again, sorry, that sounded really stupid. I'm so tired. Yeah, but that's it. Hopefully I finish this thing soon. Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's all I had to say. And I'm sorry that it took so long. And my cat is gonna stop being a little bitch. Bye. Yeah, we're done.